Hey, what's going on the YouTube? This is SDL0320 representing JVS. So I'm back again for another review. This is a review for the part 2 of The Death of the Superman. Oh, goodness. The Reign of the Superman. And I was able to watch it today digitally. I've been invited to go to the red carpet. I'm not sure if I'll be able to go or not. But I was able to, with the help of my amazing crew, do a lot of great interviews for the cast for that. But I'm going to give you the cast listing just real quick. Jerry O'Connell for Cyborg Superman and Superman. Rebecca Romaine, this is also his wife in real life, that plays the role of Lois Lane. Raymond Wilson. You got Cameron Monaghan as Superboy. Cress Williams, Black Lightning, who's playing Steel or John Henry Irons. Rosario Dawson reprised her role as Wonder Woman. Of course, Nathan Fillion reprised his role as Green Lantern. Kristen Gorham, Shamar Moore as Cyborg, of course Jason Momoa as Batman, and like it's a stack. And oh yeah, I forgot Tony Todd as Darkseid. So the cast line is amazing, to say the least. But the thing about this one that I really appreciate is it is comic accurate, but it makes a modern day spin to everything about what it's trying to propel, because at this point the movie itself is really front and center just through Lois's eyes, because she's lost the love of her life. She's lost Superman, the world has lost Superman, and it's like now you got these different beings with the Eradicator, Steel, Superboy, and of course the Cyborg Superman, or Hank Henshaw, which I'll talk about that later, that have replaced Superman for this time being. And it's like, if you know the story, like they go so far with it. One of my favorites in this one, which initially in the beginning I was kind of just like, what is this retro kid? And they took the same exact model from this 80s punk Superboy they used to have. And Cameron Monaghan just nails it. Like you immediately are like, he's annoying, I can't believe he's doing this, why is he doing that? But you're like, there's some heart to him, there's something else there. Like the annoyance is from who he also is paired to. He is a clone, of course, of Lex Luthor and Superman. The Eradicator, I was sitting there trying to figure him out, because I was like, I don't even remember. Like I was like, I remember the Eradicator, but I was like, what is the origins for that? When you find that out, it's really interesting. Man, Cress Williams as Steel is amazing. Like the way that they're using him is just so interesting. But I think the big platform with this is, if you haven't seen The Death of Superman, you really should before you see this. These two movies work symbiotically. Like, I think The Reign of Superman is a good film, but I think The Death of Superman is a better film. But them together and the culmination of it, it's just like part 1 and part 2 of The Dark Knight Returns. Like, I think the part 2, it goes so hard in the paint, but that doesn't say that part 1 isn't, special either, because it really is. But one of the things I loved about this film is just the animation. The animation, the fights, like the detriment. Like there's a moment, like legit, when the Justice League were on the scene, I was like, oh wow, the Justice League's here, we about to go. And then all of a sudden something happens, and I was like, whoa, wait, what just happened to the Justice League? You know what I'm saying? And then you're like, you really feel like this feeling of dread, especially when the Cyborg Superman is perpetuating that he is the real Superman. And I'm questioning. I was like, no, that's not how I remember this story. But at the same exact time, you're like, he's very convincing. Like he really does plead the case. But then there's something that happens, I want to say around the second arc, second midway, and I'm like, nah, something totally terrible is gonna come down the scenes. And then of course Darkseid is at the back fold. One of the things I loved about this too is that Darkseid is modeled up the same Darkseid from Justice League War. And then there's also a post-credit sequence that pushes this to somewhere else. And I'm like, where are you guys going with this? You know what I'm saying? And I really did appreciate everything about the way that they designed each one of the Supermen. Like the Eradicator looks like the Eradicator. Superboy looks like the Superboy that I remember. And especially the way that they handle Cyborg Superman, oh my goodness, because there's this one line that he delivers, and it has something to do with the realization of how he feels about Lois and all this stuff. And it's like something along the lines of, oh, you think that this is the threat? No, you have no idea this. And I don't want to spoil it, But it's a crazy ending. It's a really crazy ending. And for you guys that, you know, are lovers of Batman versus Superman, or lovers of Justice League, or what Zack was trying to accomplish with both of those, I think that you're gonna love the third act of this. Any Superman fan is gonna love the third act of this. From the music, from the design, from the fight, from what is actually really happening. Like, they go hard in the paint. And you feel every bit of worry and dread and fear that the comics kind of left in this open peril, like, wait, what's gonna happen to our Superman kind of thing. And I wish, honestly, man, like, why couldn't, like, DC animation does so well the transition of comic to animation. I mean, and I'm like, why could they not have just, even with Suicide Squad, I felt the same way with Suicide Squad. I was like, you just copy what they did in the animation and just put it in the film. And I felt like they could have done the same exact thing with this one. I know for a fact, because I am actually a supporter of Zack Snyder. I do believe in a Snyder Cut. I do have a whole documentary that I'm going to be dedicated straight to that. But the reality is, I remember at the beginning that when Zack Snyder announced this, that it was going to be into two parts. Batman vs. Superman. Now, I'm not talking about Justice League. I'm not talking about this 5-art thing. I'm talking about just Batman vs. Superman. We have two different parts. The introduction of Batman and Superman, and then the death of Superman. And that should have been the way it went. Warner Bros. Pressured them. They put him in a Kevin Feige situation, and they just let the drop fall. And so things happen, but I mean, the unrated version is actually really good. But honestly, Doomsday could have been his own arc, and this could have been a whole different movie that could have included the need for a Justice League. Like, it could have been the same exact situation, and like these different versions of Superman. So, but either way, it's a spectacle. I really did enjoy it, but I think as a collective, this is a great two-parter that you should definitely buy both. I believe Best Buy have it where you can buy both of them, and I think both of them are in theaters right now currently. But I also know that the Legend of Brawly, of the Brawly movie, Dragon Ball Super Brawly movie does come out tomorrow, so definitely go and check that out. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this review. I will be pushing out some interviews that we were able to do at New York Comic Con 2018, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to go to the red carpet, but either way, I do thank DC Animation, I do thank Warner Bros. For their continuous great work with these animated features, because this one was another hit, especially connected with the death of Superman. But hopefully you guys do enjoy this review. I try not to spoil as much as I could, but that ending though, ooh, if you're a Superman fan, I'll tell you guys later. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Have a blessed one. It's time for me to go and check out The Flash. Peace, guys.